Chris Eubank Jr. absolutely dominates and schools Liam Williams over 12 rounds. Before we get into the video, please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. So in the very beginning of round one, it seems like Liam Williams had the perfect game plan to beat Chris Eubank Jr. Between boxing and punching, and for the first 2 minutes and a half, he was catching Eubank with good jabs, with good overhand rights. Then boom, out of nowhere, Eubank catches Williams coming in. Williams ducked in. Eubank landed a jab, threw the jab simultaneously. Williams walked to the jab, got dropped. Williams gets up, survives the round, doesn't seem hurt. Round two comes, same thing. Williams doing really good boxing. Then he walks into another jab. Round three, I thought Eubank took that round. Round four, Williams this time walks into a Eubank left uppercut. Eubank wins rounds 5, 6, and 7. Williams gets into the fight rounds 8, 9, and 10. By round 11, Eubank drops Williams again. And round 12, Williams could not touch Eubank Jr. And I had the fight 171-107 for Eubank. The judges had similar scores. I think 161-108 twice and 171-107. I saw the commentators. They had the fight closer. They had a 114-110. One had a 113-111 for Eubank. I couldn't give 6 or 7 rounds to Williams. He didn't do enough. The most I could have gave him was 3. I gave him 3. You could make an argument he won 4, but that's the max. Now for Liam Williams. This fight at points mirrored the Demetrius Andrade fight. Because when he fought Demetrius Andrade, he started horrible. And we all know Demetrius Andrade. I've always said Demetrius Andrade can catch any fighter in boxing early. I once had a private conversation with Janibek Al-Muhanalai. I told him, if you can get past the first 5 rounds against Demetrius Andrade, you'll be the new middleweight champion of the world. But for those first 5 rounds, he might put enough, even if he doesn't stop you, he might put enough damage on you that you can't win the fight. So, Liam Williams, slow starter. Demetrius Andrade, very fast starter. Gets dropped in the second round. Gets hurt a couple times the first 4 rounds. But then starts getting back to the fight. Hurt Demetrius Andrade badly in rounds 9. And I had Demetrius Andrade winning 115-112, 114-113 type fight. This fight, he did not have the same success he did against Andrade. Did not hurt Eubank once. Eubank, the only reason why he even lost a couple of those rounds, in my opinion, was oh, sorry about that. The only reason why he lost a couple of those rounds was because of his excessive taunting. If he was more focused, if he took it more seriously, he could have won every round. And I think he could have stopped Williams if he wanted to stop Williams. But he has the right mentality. Let's just cruise to a decision if we can get a decision. We all love knockout fights, but guess what? When you're fighting a world-class fighter, and Liam Williams, in my opinion, is a world-class fighter, you got to win it anyway how. Now, what's next for Chris Eubank Jr.? I want to see Chris Eubank Jr. fight Janibek Al-Muhanalai for the vacant WBO title. If not, I hope he can get the winner between Ryota Murata versus Gennady Golovkin. And I think he has a good chance against both. He can ambush. He still has that in him, the ambush style. And he can box on the back foot now at a very high level. Him and Roy Jones Jr. seems to be a match made in heaven. Chris Eubank Jr. is very athletic. Obviously, he's not Roy Jones Jr. athletic. Obviously. No one's trying to make the argument. And you can make the argument he fights like he's fighting right now like a poor man's version of Roy Jones Jr. But guess what? A poor man's version of Roy Jones Jr. could be a lot of guys. A lot of guys. And I think Gennady Golovkin right now is on the slide completely. Sergey Devianchenko, a guy who people used to measure Danny Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, gave them all hell, was schooled by Carlos Adames. So, it doesn't look good for Gennady Golovkin right now. Gennady Golovkin has been very inactive, has had 1 fight since 2019. I think Chris Eubank Jr. beats Gennady Golovkin. I controversially was standing back in 2016. Chris Eubank Jr., when they were supposed to fight, when then Kell Brook came in instead, Chris Eubank Jr. would give Gennady Golovkin hell. Even if Golovkin wins, and I thought Golovkin would win, I thought he would win late in the championship rounds and down big on the scorecards. That's what I thought. Now, I think right now, Chris Eubank Jr. is still in his prime. He's close to his peak. Gennady Golovkin is very far removed from his prime. Last time I saw an elite Gennady Golovkin was against Canelo. And that was 4 years ago. Last time I saw a prime Gennady Golovkin was against David Lemieux. And that was 7 years ago. I think now Eubank could beat Golovkin. That if Golovkin gets back past Riyar Murata, I've always thought Eubank could beat Murata. Charlo, he's probably going to leave the division. So I think the top two guys forecasting into the next couple years, it's Eubank and Johnny Beck Al Muhanalai. I think Johnny Beck beats Eubank. With this style, his hands down, I think Johnny Beck stops Eubank. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Who knows? I'd like to hear your opinion in the comment section below. Were you guys impressed by Eubank's performance? And who would you like to see him fight next? Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Sadiq Boxing out!